This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth, and I just want to say congratulations, America, on once again ending up with the lesser of evils. You've rejected left-wing statism, but then embraced the right-wing variant. I called it 6 months ago, back in May. I told us so. This BS is more choreographed than a ballet. Trump has been selected already. He will win. Just watch how this tweet ages. The false left-right paradigm is in full swing, and everyone's buying it. One side will say, "You elected a felon." The other will say, "BS," and the New World Order wins. Because let's not forget, my friends, democracy is just the means. It's an illusion of choice, and the powers that ought not be have brilliantly chosen Donald Trump, a very charismatic actor, to ultimately carry out the agendas of the deep state by becoming the so-called hero of the people. And I know right now the future seems to be looking marginally better, but doesn't that remain to be seen? I've seen this many, many times before, and here's a very good example of what I'm warning about today. In Canada, when Justin Trudeau first came on the scene, he was billed as Canada's Obama, the hope and change that you can count on. One of his biggest campaign promises was to legalize weed in Canada, and this got millions of Canadians supporting him, including the self-proclaimed Prince of Pot Mark Emery, who campaigned for Trudeau based on these promises. I confronted Emery about this, warning that this was a dangerous move and that he shouldn't be getting behind Trudeau based on these promises.
The only really important result is that we get a Liberal majority on October 19th. In that regard, would hopefully lead to legalizing marijuana or taking it out of the schedule 6 months later, and the province is regulating it, and then we'll see what we can do there.
We know these parties are known for riding in on tickets. Let's just hypothetically say if Trudeau was riding in on the weed ticket. I mean, where does he stand on foreign policies? Where does he stand on military intervention? Where does he stand on a monetary reform? Are you aware of his positions on these things?
I couldn't care less. I absolutely could not. To me, this whole election is entirely a referendum on legalizing marijuana with the benefit that we get rid of Stephen Harper. I really don't care about the other views of any of the parties because they're all nuanced at best. It's all really a battle over personalities if you get beyond our one issue. But our one issue I've been working for 45 years of my life, and we have never had an opportunity like this as a voter. So we'd be absolutely stupid and derelict not to seize this opportunity to see if we can get a party that has a chance to form a majority that promises full legalization, to actually see if that happens. There's never been a chance like that, and there's not likely to be one if we fuck this up.
It seems like a dangerous move to put that much into somebody like Justin Trudeau when you're not even aware what kind of foreign policies and what kind of wars of aggression he might continue, or if he's going to continue the things that Stephen Harper has been doing, the things you've been fighting against for 14 years. How do you know you're not being duped into voting for Justin Trudeau to carry on these same old things, the same old left-right, same two sides of the same bird?
Your concerns are not my concerns. I don't have any of those concerns. I am completely confident that if we got a Liberal majority, we would see some form of legalization, and that's all I care about. I do not care about the other thing. They're not going to change whether it's the NDP, Liberals, and Conservatives, for the most part, and other parties simply aren't going to have it. They don't get the economic support. They don't have the numerical support. You know, I'm playing in the real world. I want to see change in the next year. That's only going to happen if people vote for the Liberal Party. It's not going to change if they vote for the Green Party, the NDP, or the Conservatives. My goal is single-minded, as I've told you. Legalizing pot, this is the only way I can make that happen going to the polls.
How many times do these politicians have to make these promises before we start to realize that they don't carry out these promises once they get in?
You're editorializing. If you're a journalist, you're supposed to ask me the questions. What you've just done is stated an opinion which I don't agree with, nor do I want to discuss, because it's a cynicism that I have no value for.
Okay, well, It's very serious because this is leading
Well, it's
towards...
serious to you, but I've told you, it doesn't bother or concern me. I don't care what they stand for. I'm comfortable being a member of the Liberal Party and advocating them for the very important reason to legalize marijuana. I'm simply not on the radar to identify any other issue. Anyway, I gotta run. I gotta see my wife. It's been good talking.
Thank you. All right, take care. All right. Well, there you have it. That is Mark Emery's position on putting blind faith into Justin Trudeau, the leader of the Liberals, riding in on that weed ticket. So we'll just have to wait and see if this tarnishes the Mark Emery legacy or not. Fast forward to today, and you'll discover that Trudeau did legalize cannabis. But how did that turn out? Well, it turns out that he really just completely monopolized an entire industry with no free market at all. It was a total bait and switch move. And I think we're about to get something very similar under Donald Trump as President of the United States. One day before this election, I issued a warning. Warning, Ron Paul, the 2024 selection, and the dollar crash that will be blamed on Trump, where you'll see that I discussed with Dr. Paul what it might actually look like if Donald Trump ended the Fed as promised. And here's the thing, folks. Have any of you considered that he may actually end the Fed as promised, but then replace it with a central bank digital currency? That's one of the goals of the global elite, and that's how they can pull it off. Or have you ever considered that his promise to control the borders might actually eventually lead to a nationwide biometric surveillance system? Check off another one for the global elite. Do you not realize that by creating the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, with Elon Musk, that by promising to cut $2 trillion from the budget, you will all have to eventually interact with the Everything app that manages your social credit score? My friends, they've tossed out the bait, people have taken the bite, and now they're just going to start reeling it in. It's not going to happen overnight, but it most certainly will be implemented under the tiptoe to tyranny through Donald Trump. Just like how we saw the hope and change under Justin Trudeau in Canada, and now everyone hates him, including the pot activists. So on the one hand, yes, I'm glad that our selfie-taking, feminist, politically correct drama teacher Justin Trudeau is not going to be getting the intellectual backing of Kamala Harris. But on the other hand, I know that Donald Trump is the Pied Piper chosen by the powers that ought not be, who will use him to ultimately usher in their endgame agenda. And that's why statism in general needs to be rejected, lock, stock, and barrel. My friends, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please consider checking the link below at pressfortruth.ca/donate. I can't continue to do this work without the continued support coming directly from you, the viewers. So thank you so much to anybody who takes some time today to support my efforts here at Press for Truth. And that's all for today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please click the thumbs up button, share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most, and stay tuned, guys. We're gonna have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.